Molly here with SIFF TV, and I am sitting with writer and director Matthew Mishory.
Thanks for having
us.
us.
Absolutely. Cinematographer Marius Pessah,
yes.
Not Pessah. And Edward Singletary Jr., actor who plays Roger in the film.
And also the producer of the film.
And producer, boom. Joshua Tree, 1951, A Portrait of Jame Dean. For people that haven't seen the film yet, do you want to just give a brief overview about what it's about?
Sure. It's, as the title suggests, a portrait, not a biopic, not a biography, but a portrait, a moment in time about James Dean, set very narrowly in the years or year before he really became known.
It didn't start off as a feature, and I might be talking a little bit out of school, but I want to let you guys in on a little secret that we went and we shot the short as written, and we got back from the desert and looked at the footage that this gentleman put together so beautifully, and we realized that we had something very special on our hands.
Michael, what has been your favorite part of the festival circuit so far? I mean, it's important to note that the world premiere of this movie was at SIFF.
Having a chance to present a movie like this to audiences that they don't quite know what to expect, and to all sorts of film aficionados is just wonderful, and to feel the energy in the theater when the first images come up on the screen. There's really, that's why we do what we do, and that's when you make an independent film. It's in some ways it's sort of like a message in a bottle. You send it out and you don't know where it's going to wash up.
What a beautiful metaphor. That's so true.
And I can't imagine a better place for it to wash up than Seattle. The audience was so literate and more intelligent than we were, and had great questions.
They asked really good questions.
We've heard that from several of our filmmakers that they like SIFF because it feels like it is a very audience-based festival, and so that's kind of a great place to premiere.
People who are excited about movies and not just celebrities, and
right.
Our film is really about the love of the movies.
Joshua Tree, 1951, A Portrait of Jame Dean, which is just a must-see at the festival this year. I'm sitting with Kenda Gee, the director of Lost Years. We're really excited to have this showing at SIFF this year, but for people that haven't seen it yet, do you want to go ahead and tell a little bit about it?
Sure, it's an epic documentary that's 150 years. It took 2 years in the making to make, and it's based on 12 years of research. It covers the diaspora of the Chinese from Canada, the United States, New Zealand, Australia. Great.
This is a very personal story for you, though, so do you want to go into that aspect?
Yeah, in the story we go back to the villages of Toi Sun, and I have an opportunity to see the village with my dad, and of course it's a very emotional experience. And the interesting thing was that we used a bit of cinema verite, a bit of the narrative, and also the reenactment. So it was just a very interesting film. It's never been done the way that we would have expected.
So documentary doesn't necessarily encapsulate this film in a lot of ways because it does have narrative elements, very cinematic elements, which I think helps translate the emotion and a lot of the character's journey. And people hear documentary, we think dry, we think just very factual information, but it's not that in a lot of ways.
You hit the nail on the head. The biggest challenge I think for a documentary of this nature is trying to transpose facts, dates and events into a more of an emotional experience. So a big part of that was we had a brilliant editor, Brenda Turney, but a major key as well was the music. We had probably one of Canada's top composers and conductors, Darren Fung. He recorded the music with the China National Symphony.
Wow.
And the way that we looked at it was that there may even be scenes where the only audio you would hear would be the sound of the music. We're so happy that the US premiered here in Seattle, because in a city where the first Asian American mayor, Wayne Luke, the first Asian American governor, Gary Locke, we couldn't have asked for a better city and better organizers.
Again, I'm sitting here with Kenda Gee, director of Lost Years, which if you are at all hesitant about seeing documentaries, don't be, because documentary does not do it justice. It is so much more than that, and it is one not to miss. So thank you so much for sitting with us. This is Molly with SIFF TV with another Filmmaker interview.